This was requested by Chaos Cateriano 7, and close to those requested by Jigwig and Pedro Rodrigo Silva Caldas on what if Goku taught Kaioken to the Earthlings, knowing it would help them become good sparring partners and potentially make up for what time would be taken during the 3 years preparation. Goku tells them such, as they all receive tutelage from him. His own experiences attaining what Kaio only had a broad idea of allows those that were taught by Kaio to quickly achieve this step, with Kuririn's great talent and ki control having him catch on quickly. This helps everyone grow stronger, though not by a huge amount beyond Yamcha catching up to Tenshinhan and Kuririn, with the strain of even lower levels of Kaioken limiting how much they can use it, even when Yamcha, Kuririn and Tenshinhan all attain 20 times Kaioken by the end, and Chaozu getting to 10 times, along with Chaozu being deemed capable of coming to the battle. The first major change is when Yamcha faces 20, with him using 20 times Kaioken straight away, before getting it drained. Such a great amount of ki makes Gero far stronger, so much so he can fight evenly with Piccolo when the latter fights him seriously, and causes him to get grabbed. Vegeta soon takes it upon himself to intervene, but what little he got from Piccolo is still enough to take Vegeta's attacks, and to grab him too. The quick intervention of Gohan, Kuririn, Tenshinhan, and Yamcha, Chaozu being deemed the one to take Goku home. To make this 6v1 does pressure Gero though, with the heavy hitters not giving him a good opportunity to grab a target, especially once Trunks joins in and cuts off his escape. Kurama lands safely before asking if that is Dr. Gero, with him using the shock of everyone as an opportunity to shoot eye lasers at her and retreat, Trunks blocking the attack. When Kuririn finds him, he uses 20 times Kaioken to alert the group before putting all his power into a Kienzan. Gero narrowly dodges it, at the expense of a leg and a lab door, but 17 and 18 are activated all the same. The next change isn't until the wait for the Cell game, as being proficient in Kaioken makes Tenshinhan willing to go into the Room of Spirit and Time with Chaozu once the Saiyans and Piccolo have had their turns, managing to bring his use of Kaioken to 100 times by the end, which is the highest specific multiplier in any official source. Kuririn and Yamcha then do the same when taking their own turn. Chaozu still lags behind enough that he doesn't join in the Cell game, although this high level of ki in general cultivated within the room have allowed the Earthling trio to become strong enough to defeat the Cell Juniors. The strain of using this level leaves each of them immobile. From there on, the Cell game goes as normal. After it though, Tenshinhan's ability to surpass Vegeta and Trunks for the brief time he could use 100 times Kaioken, as his ideals of Budo remain competitive enough to interact with the Dragon Team more, approaching Piccolo and requesting the former Kami resume tutoring him. Piccolo tells him he's not as charitable as his other half, but has enough respect for Ten's strength to tutor he and Chaozu when he can. Though Piccolo takes enough interest to pick up the Kaioken, he doesn't push it beyond 10 times, when knowing and reminding Tenshinhan such a technique would be very situational in a fight, and could be as impractical as the Shinki Koho. Ten and Chaozu instead focus on using 10 or 20 times regularly to help condition their body's durability, and greatly enhance their base ki. Meanwhile, much as 17 heard Goku's voice when inside Cell, 18 heard Cell mention Kuririn defeating a Cell Jr., and becomes curious enough of his new strength once they get together to spar with him regularly, being motivated enough to catch up to his 20 times level, but not much further until the announcement of the Tenkaichi Budokai, where she demands he use 100 times, and also helps strengthen his base level, to the point he isn't too far behind Tenshinhan. Yamcha, meanwhile, has still lost motivation to keep practicing martial arts after the Cell game, and is too concerned with his first round curse to bother entering. Tenshinhan and Chaozu take Mighty Mask and Tequila's places, with Chaozu rigging a lottery to Ten's desires. He requests to be matched up against Shin to test him, and says Chaozu can do what he wishes with the rest, things being the same beyond match 1 and 2 being swapped. Chaozu placing himself for an easy win against duel in match 7, and Piccolo being matched against 18 in match 5, so Chaozu doesn't have to worry about him yet. Tenshinhan easily defeats Shin, and he has Kibito give away his identity when shocked at a mortal injuring Kaioshin-sama, but Shin is happy to see they're even stronger than he imagined. Events then proceed the same until going to Babdi's ship, where Dabura spits on Chaozu and Tenshinhan first, which has Piccolo and Kuririn become aware of the spit to dodge before they can be spat on, Babdi not being too bothered about Shin bringing 5 guys. Burger and fries.
Oh my goodness, oh my damn, oh my goodness, they're going ham.
Piccolo wins a game of Janken to decide which of them takes on Dabura, and swiftly defeats him with 10 times Kaioken, being far surpassed by both Kakaroto and Piccolo. Enrages Vegeta enough to rant about this being a waste of time, loud enough for Babidi to take a hint. Without anyone to stall for time though, Babidi is eradicated by Piccolo before Boo can be fueled further, and his revival is prevented. Goku and Vegeta continue their fight, where Goku's more varied techniques allow him to barely win. Goku then teaches everyone fusion, while the Dragon Balls revive all the innocent lives taken in the past year. When Goku has little time left, he uses the remainder of it to show Vegeta Super Saiyan 3, when not wanting to hide it, and apologizes for not risking to use it in their fight, showing what can be achieved before leaving. Vegeta has a similar realization on what makes Goku different, and changes his approach towards Chugyo, achieving Super Saiyan 3 a few months later. Daima doesn't occur due to Goma having no reason to research after Babidi was defeated, and Arinsu couldn't gain any of Boo, her simply choosing to benefit from maintaining Goma's rule. For Super, Beerus politely asks about the Super Saiyan God when getting his pudding, and there clearly being not enough Saiyans, has Vegeta wish for Tarbell to be brought to Earth before Shenlong leaves, and Vegeta attains the form. Frieza still puts in similar effort, when concerned at the report of Goku and Vegeta seeming to have gained something beyond Super Saiyan. Without Goku's Shunkan Ido though, Vegeta is too late to save Piccolo and Gohan. Frieza still succeeds in destroying Earth, with Beerus having Whis rewind time, and threaten to erase Frieza if he does so when wanting Earth's food, forcing Vegeta to let Frieza go as a compromise. After Whis takes Vegeta to New Namek to revive the victims of Frieza's army, Vegeta's concerns at Frieza still being out there to improve further has him focus on mastering Super Saiyan Blue. The team to face Universe 6 is Vegeta, Piccolo, Tenshinhan, Chaozu, and Monaka. Chaozu can't do anything to Botamo. Tenshinhan has improved enough sparring with Piccolo, he can defeat him, but Frost's needles knock him out. Piccolo is able to swiftly rin out Frost with the Kaioken, and then uses 10 times to brute force his way through Magetta, but the strain of it, and him noticing Vegeta's desire to test Kaba, has him forfeit. Things go the same until facing Hit, where mastering Blue makes Vegeta capable of easily overpowering the time skip, though Zeno is impressed by him. Vegeta's more reserved attitude has him not become friends with him as Goku would. When facing Vegeta Black, Vegeta dominates the fight too quickly for Black to be healed up and adapt, and gets rid of him while Trunks distracts Zamasu. But the latter's immortality has Vegeta tell Trunks to go back to History 1 and see if there's a way to seal him while he stalls, blasting off Zamasu's time ring to prevent an escape. Trunks learns the Mafuba from Piccolo and arrives as Vegeta's stamina is starting to wane as he protects his world from Zamasu. After the Hakaishin Battle Royale, Belmod and Toppo are the ones to convince Zeno to not erase them immediately, when a battle between mortals would be far easier to view. The tournament of power going ahead. Universe 7's team is Vegeta, Frieza, Piccolo, Gohan, Tenshinhan, Chaozu, Kuririn, 18, 17, and Muten Roshi. When Frost targets Kuririn though, having improved far more since being made helpless by Frieza, allows Kuririn and Tenshinhan to fend off Frost with help from Muten Roshi's techniques, lasting just long enough for 18 to back them up and defeat Frost. The strain of having to use 100 times Kaioken does mean Kuririn and Tenshinhan are soon defeated when taking out some of Universe 9's fighters. Gohan is also eliminated early on when having never gone through Rodai Kaioshin's ritual. Things otherwise go as normal until Frieza fights Kale, where he manages to overpower her and force she and Caulifla to fuse. It's then he reveals what he's attained in a room on a world he found when expanding his business, as he easily crushes her with the black form, before targeting the Pride Troopers, who are helpless as Frieza gets through most of the competition in a matter of seconds. His confidence in his strength leaves them just open enough for Damon to knock him out of the ring, with 17 finding him before he can target anyone else, as Universe 7 cleans up what few are left and restores the universes. Frieza still goes about having Vegeta fight Broly, when finding it fun to see two Saiyans fight to the death. The difference here is that, upon Broly transforming, Frieza easily defeats him and finishes things with a death beam, when a rampaging beast isn't someone who could entertain him for long. Granola gets rid of the heaters, once becoming the strongest in the universe, and ends Frieza's reign. Meanwhile, Vegeta achieves Ultra Ego and focuses on the same spiritual cultivation as normal to match Frieza's ki control. Piccolo takes it entirely upon himself to oppose the Gammas, and does so once gaining the orange form, but Cell Max forces Vegeta to help out, when nothing distracting Whis from Buruma's call allows them to learn of things quicker. Without learning spirit control on Yardrat though, he's far weaker here, and it takes the combination of Ultra Ego Vegeta, Orange Piccolo, Tenshinhan, Chaozu, Kuririn, 18, and both Gammas self-destructing to defeat Cell Max. In GT, Poppo stops Pilaf when he tries to get onto the Shinden, with nothing distracting him, and Baby's development goes undisturbed. Shin becomes aware enough to tell the Dragon Team, when viewing this threat as even greater than Buu, and brings Vegeta, Piccolo, and Gohan to the Kaioshinkai to use the Zetor Sword. Piccolo and Gohan go through the ritual, though Vegeta doesn't want to be handed a new power, but Rodai Kaioshin is aware enough of Baby's potential threat to help Vegeta achieve Super Saiyan 4. Through this, Vegeta easily puts an end to Baby, though Mew has no vengeance. Being able to escape hell is enough reason for him to team up with Geralt. Kuririn is capable of surviving 17's attacks, and the combination of 100 times Kaioken and 18's backup is enough to destroy 17 with a Kianzan, when they realise there's no other way to stop him. Vegeta then defeats Hellfighter 17 and puts an end to Mew and Geralt's plans. When the evil dragons are unleashed, Vegeta has enough confidence to go face them, and Piccolo joins him when feeling some responsibility for Kami creating the Dragon Balls. They get rid of Lian Shinlong before he can use his ability, and though Wu Shinlong is able to knock Piccolo unconscious with his Dragon Thunder, it proves enough to unlock the orange form. Piccolo avoids being absorbed by Chi Shinlong, and Vegeta isn't as merciful when getting the advantage against Su Shinlong as Goku would, finishing him off before doing the same to San Shinlong. I Shinlong still proves too much for Vegeta, until the others arrive to help bring him beyond his limits. Piccolo is the one to distract I Shinlong, and his use of the Kaioken is enough to be a genuine threat, I Shinlong outlasting the Kaioken strain, and then preparing to finish Piccolo off being enough that Gohan awakens the beast form once I Shinlong transforms. Vegeta recommends they power down to fuse before going Super Saiyan 4, but take as long as Gogeta would and defuse. So at this point though, Buruma uses the Brutes Wave machine that she made for Gohan in case Vegeta alone wasn't enough, and Super Saiyan 4 bringing Gohan to his utmost limits allows him to destroy I Shinlong. Having kept track of all this, Goku comes to the Kaioshinkai to catch up to Vegeta, and when Vegeta's life comes to an end a few years later, they have days of endless battles there. It's here that we see, despite it changing some major events, the drawbacks of Kaioken would be enough that Earthlings' relevance would become quite hit or miss after the Cell arc, and even during it. Thank you if I've watched through this video. Comment requests and subscribe for more. Share it around if you can too. And if watching sometime in the future, here's a selection of 3 shorter Kaioken themed scenarios in one video.